We're live. Just a second. Don't forget to show me though. Hello, welcome, welcome to Tina's Truth. Back at it again, honey.
Hello.
Hold on, I'm gonna have you. Y'all know I always have issues with my little thing. Let me see. Look like it's too far on this side. That good? Okay, let me shut the window. That better?
That's better.
The lighting. All right. Well, good morning. Well, is it good afternoon? Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm sitting here with my first cousin, Kanika, who has been a cast member now. Let me see, let me see. Were you in the first play?
Yep, I was in all of them.
You been in all 4? Well, she been down 4 years. 4 years with me. I've been doing skits for 5, and she was in it. Yeah, you came in, I think, a little bit after that. She may have been in it like 4.5, because I think in the first season we had started like venturing out. Cause you weren't in it when Jonathan was in it, were you?
No, I think that's when I started was me and K Red.
Right. Okay.
That's
So
when
you.
I started.
All right. Yeah. So it's not. She's been in with me consecutively 4 years. She's been in all 4 of my plays, and it just started off something for fun, like I said, and then here we are from here. So, cousin, let them know who you are, where you from, what you do, things like that.
I'm Kanika. I'm from Dayton, born and raised. I work at the hospital right now at Miami Valley. I'm a PCT and a nursing student.
Nice.
And just full time everything, mom, school, and work. So
How do you balance all that, cuz?
I'm still learning to balance, to be honest. It's very hard some days, but I keep a calendar with everything in it. So I try to just, what's the word I want to use? Kind of try to not squeeze time in, but kind of schedule it. Like if I get up at 8 o'clock, I know at 9 I got to do something with the kids. Now I got this 10 to 11. So I kind of map it out throughout the day to make it not so tough.
Nice.
The whole day.
So you are organized, basically.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, you organize and manage your time by keeping count on that. Yeah, I'm learning how to do that, and a lot of things that on my phone I wasn't aware because I was missing a lot of Gmail emails, and so young lady showed me how to go to notifications, something that simple that I didn't even do, but now I get notifications every time I get one, which is a blessing, and um, so tell me about the skits and um, how where do you see it going? What did it do? Did you know you wanted to act before, or was when I said come on and you was like okay, I see fun and like you know?
It took me out my shyness. I never imagined being on stage. I don't even like speaking in front of people, but it after what the first 2 plays, I want to say I started getting more and more comfortable. Now I'm able to look like if I look into the audience, I don't shy off. Whereas at first it's like, okay, I'm just gonna focus right here. I'm not gonna look over there because I'm gonna forget what I'm doing. But it gave me a chance to break that shyness. I don't want to be shy no more. But it gave me an opportunity to venture off, do something that gives me a chance to be me. So that's what it did for me, and it broke me from being shy.
That's as far as stage fright,
Yes.
or even it can help with like if you got to speak in front of people, like you know what I'm saying. Like if say you have to get up at your for your class. I don't know if y'all have to do that now. Things gonna change, but even helps you with if you had to speak in front of somebody that you know what I mean. It may be a little different, but I'm saying the fact that because we're not talking about just 20, 30 people. You literally are getting on there because the library's capacity was 199, but we always surpassed that. So like this last one, I think it was like 215, but they didn't say anything to us, you know. And I think 70 people didn't show because of the snow, so I wouldn't have had enough room. So it all worked out. It all worked out because it it wouldn't have been anywhere for the people to sit, and they would have been turning people away. So the fact that you're comfortable on there, come out and say what you gotta say in front of there, that's good. What made you want to get into nursing?
I always had a passion to help people.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people, and I'm seeing it now, but a lot of people just be alone.
Mm-hmm.
You go into a hospital and you don't know these people, these nurses, these PCTs, or these doctors. You got all these strangers just there, but you don't have no one else. So for me, I don't treat my patients like patients. I treat them like I know them. I'll walk in, hey girl, how you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
I don't go in and just give you that. I'm just here.
Like to do my job.
Yes, like
mm-hmm.
I got so close to so many of them patients. Some is there for a long time, so I done grew attached to them. So when they leave, it's kind of sad for me.
Right.
But just
right.
being there to help someone in their time of need is why I wanted to. Just being able to help someone just makes me feel good.
Right.
To be there for someone else.
So you would say that's your purpose?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got a passion for it. I love it. I love everything I do. Just love it.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like work when you're in your calling.
No, it don't.
And I started doing I was an HHA home health aide. I think in my early 20s, but I didn't know. I actually had been doing it, but didn't even know I was doing it. And then my cousin was working, and she said, "Why don't you try that?" And so I remember her going to get, she was a CNA or something like that, and her working in a nursing home. I never wanted the desire to do that, but I went into homes for years. So it's actually like I just stopped doing it about, I say Miss Yvonne been gone 4 years, since 4 years ago. After she passed, it was just too much for me. It was just too much. But I loved everything about it. I was a live-in aide too. I would stay on 4 days and I was off 4 days. But I've also lived in with an Alzheimer's patient. I lived there. And so it was great money, but it can wear on your mental. But yeah, I enjoy the same thing like you said, just going in. A lot of people have no one. They don't have anybody to check on them or anything like that. And I truly believe that if you're going to do that type of work, you have to like people. Although the money is good, and I believe that is why the hospitals are just horrible now, because there are people in there for a check and they can care less about the human being. That's why the nursing homes are awful. It's pretty bad. But I'm glad you are there because you're genuine and you genuinely care about people. So that is alone a blessing. Where are you going to go after the nursing? Are you going to go back? Because you seem to like school. So are you going to go back and become a nurse practitioner?
That's what my goal is.
Okay, that's what I was
To
going to
move up to a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, that's paper. Yeah, I have a couple friends that are nurse practitioners, and they, yes, it's, less hours, but the money, you know what I mean? Like it's good money. And matter of fact, the doctor is not even the one I see. He's a nurse practitioner. When I say I love that man, he has helped me more than any, PhD. You know what I'm talking about? Doctor, MD. I mean medical. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very, very good field again. I am super proud. So you're going to school now to get your
just my associates right now.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go back. I'm at Clark State. I just transferred from St. Clair, but I'm at Clark, and that actually shaved off like a year and a half of me being in school. There's a lot of stuff that St. Clair required me to do. I don't have to do there because I had already, like for example, the TEAS test. In order to get into the program, I had to take the TEAS test. But because I have a degree already, I don't have to take the TEAS test. And you can only take that 3 times in a year. If you don't pass it, you only got 3 times to pass it.
Okay, good.
Don't have to do that.
Uh-huh.
Some of the classes that St. Clair was requiring me to take, because I took it there, they still accepted that. So there's about 5 or 6 classes I have to take.
Nice.
So far, based off, as long as I stay on track, I graduate the end of next year.
Oh, sweet.
So instead of getting in the program at St. Clair in 2027, I'm actually can graduate by 27.
Nice. Congratulations. I'm proud of you, cuz. Very proud of you. Very smart. Pumpkin and I, which is my brother who's incarcerated, was just talking about how, smart she. I commend people that love school. I used to love school. I really did. But I guess going back, I don't know. And I may still, because it's never too late. Never too late. How old are you, cuz, if you don't mind?
42.
42, and she went back, 2 years?
About a year and a half ago.
She went back. she graduated and ended up going back to school, and then she said she's going to go on for her nurse practitioner. So again, you're never too late to do whatever you want to do. Just like myself. So how is like you said, with your being a mom, you have a teenage daughter, you have the baby boy. He about to be a teenager. Is he 12?
He's 12. He be
So he a preteen. So these are ages where the shifting, the hormones, and everything change. But overall, you know what I mean. You're doing great. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that are really struggling at this time. So, and managing your time. So, are you able to balance that out? I mean, as far as spending time with them.
See, I work at a group home as well, and that's a split shift.
Uh-huh.
So what I do, and now I'm actually, since this, I told myself in January, I'm giving 2 days out the week where it's just,
You and your kids.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wednesday and Thursday, yes, they at school, but I get off earlier, so I get off at 6. So me and them will go watch a movie or we'll cook dinner together. So I've managed to, the hospital is 3 times out the week. The others, it's like a split shift, so I work like 6 to 9.
Okay.
Then I don't go back until 2 to 6. So if they out of school, I'm with them. But I told myself going forward, because I do self-schedule at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
any days, because the calendar come out for the school year, any days that they out of school, I'm not scheduling myself no more. That way I'm there with them when they out of school, not at work. So we at least try to do one thing out the week.
Yeah.
They pick if they want to be season 75, movies, dinner, something. They got one day out the week where we all just, this is our day, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
So I start putting that in my schedule where I don't plan nothing but them. Sundays, because we just got baptized, so Sundays, I don't work Sundays other than once a month because it's a requirement at Miami Valley. So what I do is now, every Sunday, we go to church
You
together.
got to talk up just a little bit, cousin. So
We got to go to church every Sunday.
Mm.
So we're doing that now, and then if they want to do something after church, again, you pick one thing. We don't even do one thing. They do that. Outside of that, it's either at home, if it's movies, dinner, or we can just sit down and just play a board game. That's what we're doing now. So
Okay.
we managed
That's
to do that
good.
the past
And that's so
year.
important. And I mean, I know a lot of people really have to work where they are missing. And we were actually talking about that with, with some friends of mine, saying how their mom had to work a lot. And we used to actually, all the kids used to go over to their house because that was the house to go to because their mom worked the second shift. So she was never there in the evening. That's where a whole lot of, experimenting with sex and at her house because, her mom worked at GM, but her mom had to do what she had to do. Like it wasn't like she wasn't trying to be there, but she had to work there. And then days she did have off, they did stuff, but that woman worked a lot of hours to make sure that they did have what they need to have, and then it paid off though for all of them because they all are very successful now. However, they went through a lot with their mom not being there. A lot of things happened while they weren't there. You know what I mean? So time is when you allow it. So that's pretty good. So how was your childhood?
Raised by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was around, but not as much as mom. But childhood, I just remember mom doing the same thing I'm doing. Honestly, working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet. Every day, unfortunately, it's a challenge for me, just like it was for her. And that's where I get my strength from. I know she can do it, I can do it. I know it don't last forever. So it's just my childhood was looking at someone strong. Is how I think of it. I guess just looking at her being strong, just pushing through the difficult. So it's just wasn't easy. Some days was hard not having her there. Then of course school for me, high school and stuff. But being bullied all the time, that's.
What were you bullied from? And what do you mean? Look, just boys and girls, or
Girls.
Bullying you because of what?
Oh, they would call me things like a hoe, or they'll say
How old were you?
about 14.
And were they bullied? Were they upset because you were pretty, or were they upset because boys was liking you, or because you weren't aggressive?
Not aggressive. I didn't start taking up for myself until high school. I remember in middle school, it was my last year, I was in 8th grade, and I was at my locker, putting my books up, trying to get the other book out. It was so many people in the hallway. I just remember being punched in the back so hard I fell into the locker. And as soon I couldn't do nothing but cry because it hurted so bad. I just remember that like yesterday. And I turned around, but you didn't know who did it because there was so many people there. So I just called mom and just cried because I never understood why I was getting picked on so bad. Never understood it. But when I got to 9th grade, they thought they was gonna do the same thing, and I started taking up for myself. I want to say I still got bullied, but not like middle school and elementary school.
I never knew anything about this. I mean, I know one time you had called about some girls outside, but you was grown at this point. You had your own place. But I never knew that you went through school like being bullied. I went through bullying, Kanika, in the 4th grade. And I mean, we moved from the Fairview area and then over to Westwood. And it was a particular girl that, for whatever reason, she just bullied me because, I was new there and the boys was just, hey, will you be my boyfriend? The 4th grade, I got all those little letters, will you go with me, yes or no, all that kind of stuff. And she just was jealous, and she was on safety patrol. And I used to have me and Pumpkin hiding until she got off of safety patrol because I was so scared of her. And I didn't understand where that had came from. My mother and them didn't understand it either. Like, girl, but I'm being honest. I was afraid of her until one day we were in the cafeteria and she threw, I was at the table with my friends and she was over there at hers, and she took some corn and flicked it over there. And what I have never liked, and still to this day, is to be embarrassed. And I lost my entire mind. And when that day forward, is now I understood when they said that once you beat a butt or once you stand up to, you realize they are coward all along. And so once I got with her, you know what I mean, and dog walked her actually because she had done that, something in me changed because naturally I'm not I'm don't get me wrong, I do have my personality, that's who I am, but I'm the type of kid that I just wanted to be friends with everybody, wanted people to be friends with me. I never understood the dislike. But after that, I made a point like, what, nobody gonna never, I don't give a fuck. So I already had a mouthpiece. So once I started perfecting that, and I already know how to crack real bad and go low, it was like that kind of kept them out of bait. But I had to become something that I wasn't. Do that make sense? Like I had to have like that hard exterior, like in order to survive. Cause if I would have just been that same, hey, hi, and some people did get away with it, but for some reason, no, I had to come out as, you know what I mean? What? Like on point, like what's happening? And I would be scared, but I did it anyway. Like we gonna hit the floor. Now she never hit me, and I never hit back. None of that. But to be turned around in your locker and somebody punch you real hard and you don't even know it is, that is for one and very embarrassing. And to be bullied like that, it does something to your mental and it stays with you for years. That I know when it go on that long. Now mine didn't stay with me like that, but I've had so many other friends, and then I had foster kids, but I had friends that was bullied, and I was always there to like, no, y'all not getting that off. You know what I mean? But I'm not there all the time. So how do you process? I know you say when you went to high school. So and then you have some people that they've been fighting all their life. Like that's all they do is fight. Versus I started having to do that to stand up, but it wasn't all the time, but it was enough, but not really. Versus like when I got a boyfriend and he stayed in the projects, them people fight all the time. So I had, once again, I had to become somewhat like, but I didn't have what you call the skills, but eventually I had to get to it. Like, that's why I started picking up stuff, and that's when it became, oh, she lightweight crazy. Because I felt like I had to go over and beyond, because that's not really who I am. What is the problem? But you know what I mean? So I just never understood the dislike. So mentally carrying on, you know what I mean? Even in high school, like you said, I started standing up. When did it stop or did it never stop?
It never stopped when I was in school. It wasn't as bad. I put it that way. It wasn't as bad like it was when I wasn't standing up for myself. But you still had those that think they was tougher and they'll try you. But
And I'm just trying to figure out, try you for what? That it usually be about a boy. Was it about a boy?
I never could pinpoint why. And I had one that did not like me, and that's because I don't know if you remember them, the Brock family. They used to stay right on there on Third. Jonas, Angie, and all them. Well, me and Jonas was real close. We went back from like preschool, and we ended up going to every school together, so we stayed close. She didn't like me because of him. Now that was one. She didn't like me because of him, but I didn't want him. We just friends.
Right.
But she didn't like me because of that. Then I remember it was a girl in middle school, because you remember how they used to separate 7th grade come in first, then 8th grade, and all together. I'm sitting in my seat, and she just walked past and was like this big. I don't even know you. You know, like, it would be stuff like that, or she would try to jump me in the gym room. I was a coward, I'm not gonna lie. My stuff was in the locker room, and they all was in there. All her and all her little girls. I didn't go in the gym room. I didn't want to go in the locker room to get my stuff.
No.
So, I cowered out of it, didn't stand up for myself, but it just progressed. I'll sit on the floor, and she'll kick her feet towards my direction. It's just progressed worse and worse until I started standing up for myself. She ended up getting because she was under me. She ended up coming to Colonel White, thought she was going to pick with me there. And I stood up to her. She backed off. Then there was somebody else. It was just always somebody. No matter who it was always somebody.
So what about, okay, your friends? Were they not aggressive people either? Like
I would say
yourself?
I didn't have any friends. Just a few. Maybe a handful. Then there was one, and we friends now. It's actually my kid's godmom. I remember I was about to get jumped in the parking lot, and she stood up. Ain't no jumping. We're gonna do a one-on-one. Y'all just gonna fight a one-on-one. Ain't no jumping, or I'm jumping in. So she actually stopped that. So I had a few, but I can't really call a lot of them friends because I was talking about from people that I thought was friends. So looking back now, I'm gonna say a lot of jealousy because that's the only thing I could think of. I didn't pick with nobody.
Well, didn't you and that kid go to school together?
Trotwood. In Trotwood we did.
And then what? Then y'all went to separate schools?
When I was at Colonel White, I think Zay was, she was at, because I went to Stigers at Colonel White. I can't remember where she went, but we went to separate schools when we was in dating schools. We started going to schools when we moved to Trotwood. That's when we went to Trotwood school together. She didn't allow nobody to pick with me either.
Right. And so she didn't go through the same.
Zay was a little bit more tougher than me in high school.
Uh-huh.
She had a lot more, I'm going to say, mouth. So she stood up for herself faster than I did. I was more of the coward when I was younger.
I just wouldn't say coward. I would just say, I wouldn't say a coward. When you scared, you're just scared. Because first off, I'm not a fighter. And so in your mind, you're not thinking, I'm going to win. Like, what are they, I'm going to get beat up. I'm embarrassed. No, I don't want to go in there. I done that as a grown woman when it's a bunch of them in one. That's wisdom. What am I going in there for? And that's why I started carrying pistols at 16. Kanika, when I say the hate was probably the same, except my mouth was out of this world. Like, it's bad. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing on, everything on the floor with me. Your dad, everybody. So, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, I would have butterflies in my stomach, but I didn't give them. We're not getting ready to do, because it would take me back to the 4th grade. And I after that, I'm telling you, because I didn't used to be like that. But after that, I said, I wish a motherfucker, you got me. And when I used to go out, I went out, I didn't have a problem going out by myself, but I knew so many people because, you know what I'm saying, we're popular, Punk and I were popular kids. So it was always people like, what's up, TDK, what's up? I'm like, shit, ain't nothing, because I kept whatever. I'm saying sometimes I didn't, but I will fight. I will fight, win, lose, or draw, because you're not getting that shit off. But there are some people that it is not in them. It's just not in you to be like that to the point where you had to stand up and still felt funny even doing that. I hate that you experienced that. I hate that. I never ever heard of it, and I don't know how and that's what I also be thinking is crazy. How when we were younger, and I understand when Aunt Janet and Uncle Red separated, okay? Aunt Janet and I still would talk all the time because that is my favorite aunt in the whole entire world. Like her, oh my God. And then later on, it was Aunt Curly because Aunt Curly used to be extremely mean at first. And then as time, she found the Lord and stuff, she started being, and then that became my whole bestie, my everything. But I don't know how I think maybe when Aunt Janet got married and stuff like that, we kind of lost contact, and then you know what I mean. But I got my first Bible from Aunt Janet. We used to just sit on the phone and talk about that. I mean, that those were just my babies. We used to just talk all the time about the Lord. But even in that, me being very close with her and knowing that you guys were little and there's just the abuse that would take place, I grew up with that. And of course, Zakia wrote a book about everything she went through. And I often wonder, and at any moment, if you not, I know how to change the subject, okay?
Okay.
If you're not comfortable, but at because Apple is more like you, um, as far as Apple don't want no confrontation, like any kind of, she ain't with all that. You know what I'm talking about? Like she'll avoid a until you push in the corner, then it's a wrap for you. Yeah, but other than that, she cause I think some people, I guess they thought because they was high yellow girl, they was gonna get that off, but that sadly, but Pumpkin has never, um, Pumpkin was never aggressive. He said he's never in his life said I'm gonna beat a niggas, and he hasn't. He's never, and he got along with everybody. I mean, you got people that tried him just like in jail. He went through that. He went through some. You want me to turn the heat down?
Oh no, you fine.
Okay. He went through some stuff in jail because, for one, I think Pumpkin has the being a smaller, thinner man, and him not being that type of a street nigga to talk all that. He's not one of them, and so people tend to think that you soft when that's it, when that's not the case, and that's why my brother in penitentiary right now, cause you wasn't getting it all. I wish he had a fighting because he can fight. He didn't do a lot of fighting, but he can fight. And then having a sister like me, you already know, we either gonna be scared together and fight together or get something. But it is what it is. But growing up, Pumpkin and I grew up with seeing our mother abused. That he and I was talking about this the other day. If like say for instance I'm in the room and something in here falls on the floor, I instantly get up and I got, you know what I'm saying, my heart beating fast because that's how he and I woke up a lot. Because with the door shut, you hear a bunch of, you know what I mean, hollering, and then the stuff moving around, and you know what I mean. And so I know how did that, because that can form you whether you think it do or not. Not whether you go through it, you could not maybe take it physically, but went through it mentally. But it was both. I mean, Aunt Janet used to talk about a lot of things, and this is no shade to my uncle because he know how how open I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure he was quite uneasy about Zakia's book. But I remember talking to Zay and telling her about my book. This was years ago, and she said, "Cuzn, it's not even about," and not that I wouldn't, because I was gonna put names and everything, but I was coming from a angry place, and she was basically saying, "It's your truth, and if that is what you're called to do, then oh well." You know what I mean? She was like, "I'm quite sure that my mom and dad didn't like it, but it is what it is, and I did what I did." And when I read her book, I was so beyond my mind was it's just like, I'm just trying to figure out how my cousin going through this kind of shit and I don't know nothing about it. Like, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. It's like we lost a disconnect when she got married again. I didn't really know or see y'all like that to hear or know about what's going on. You know, I tried, but that's how the disconnect came, because although we were I'm older than y'all, we were around each other a lot when they were together. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep, I remember.
yeah. So how do you feel that had affected you? How do you feel? How did you move past it? For one, how did you forgive Uncle for doing that, seeing him? Because you're the oldest. So I'm like me. There are certain things that Pumpkin just didn't see. Same way was A. Y'all closer in age, but there are just certain things that you may have seen that she did. You know what I mean? Because, you know, or just took it differently, eternalized it differently. Like Uncle Red, Mama and Uncle and Mama, and I think I've seen their mother being beat up. So Uncle Red went to drinking. Mama left home early, got her, but she ended up going through domestic violence. Auntie Ann internalized, although she's just a laid back kind of shy person anyway. But what I mean is, she went inward. That's how she dealt with it. How did you deal with that?
I'm gonna say like she did, just bottled it up. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think honestly. Now that I think about it and hear it, I don't think I really moved on from it. I think I just learned how to move past it, if that makes sense. I have bits and pieces of things I remember. Like for example, I remember the day that I was like maybe 5, because I remember the house. We had that long hallway.
On Prescott? Mm-hmm.
We had that long hallway. Dad's chair used to sit like right. The door would be right here. Dad's chair right here. Kitchen this way. I remember it. And I remember walking down the hall and I remember hearing Dad like, "I found my place." "Oh, did you find you one?" That was the day Mom found out he was even leaving. I remember that. I'm only 5 at the time though. So
Keep talking, baby.
I think I just learned to move past it. Never really learned how to heal from it or move on from it. Just move past it. As far as forgiveness, I remember Dad apologizing.
He did.
And I was grown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the day I think I was able to forgive.
Get out, girl. Nobody in the interview. You was in the last one. Oh, well, that's good, because some people's parents never apologize. You know, and I think when he started going to um, AA too, I think you had to try to make amends. That was part of your steps. Like you got 12 steps. So one of the steps is you go to whoever you have hurt or whatever, and that's a part of your recovery. You got to go to and ask them for forgiveness. You know what I mean? And then they tell you that it doesn't matter if they forgive you or not. You got to do it, because we all know forgiveness is for you. However, you do want to just let you know, because the word "I'm sorry" is very powerful. If you just told me you were sorry, that, for me now, some people may want, for me, that at least lets me know you acknowledge that you were wrong, and that's basically all you can do, because you can't take it back.
Right.
But the fact that you said you're sorry, I'm okay with that. Now that doesn't mean that you're gonna have a great relationship afterwards, but at least, you're free and you said it to me and I feel better, and thank you, and I appreciate your apology, right? So I think what we're talking about, because the other cast members was on here, Charmaine, Tracy, we cried, Charmaine, I cried. It's just, you gotta go and look at seriously, when you get time, go and look. They're powerful. They are powerful. Elisha, Tatted, I mean, just some powerful people's relationship with their moms, or me with the lack of relationship with my dad. Seeing my mom, like I said, my mom went from Pumpkin's dad, my bonus dad, and then from there, and then she got in a relationship with Marvin, that was my other bonus dad, and then it was the same thing. So all I know, but I seen my grandmother, like I've said before, where granddaddy had her dangling from the uh, balcony. He was getting ready to drop grandmother on her head. And I just remember Uncle Red, Auntie Ann, and Mama. It was just And I just remember I was young and I tugged on my granddaddy Church's leg, and I said, "Please don't kill my grandmother, granddaddy." And he looked down at me and he said, "All right, Red baby." That's what he's called me. He said, "All right." And I will never forget as long as I live. First off, do you know how strong you got to be to hold somebody like this? So he took her and flung her back, and I remember her sliding into the kitchen. And I just remember the family was just hysterical, just crying and all that kind of stuff. And I remember going down the steps, getting them some flowers, and I pulled some flowers out these people's yard, and I gave some to my grandmother, and I gave some to granddaddy. And I just remember her being in the chair, so just, but she used to be an alcoholic, a weekend alcoholic, and whatever the reason is, he had, you know, but that was their relationship. That's how mom and them was raised. Unfortunately, that's all they saw. And so then for Uncle Red to turn around and do it, some things is learned behavior, and then some things is just eternalized. You know what I'm saying? So you just remember him saying, "I'm gone," and how did that make you feel?
I was a daddy's girl. I remember, just based off what mom said, a whole lot of, it hurt from what she told me, because I was a daddy's girl, so you go from having a dad in the home to not there. I remember days of him being drunk. I remember those days.
What, like in detail? What would he be like? Because I was raised
aggressive, very verbally abusive. I remember being when he lived over on off Third. I remember me and Zakia, we used to have to go there every other weekend. I remember he had a couple people over. He was drunk, and we got in trouble. He hit so hard. I remember it was in the bathroom. I remember falling over the toilet and hitting the floor. That was the day I told me and Zakia laid in the bed because we had to go to bed. We just wanted my mom. We wanted to go home. That was our safe spot. Dad was drunk. I don't like that side. So for us, it was a lot of aggressiveness. I remember a lot of cussing, a lot of yelling at us, a lot of raising his voice. Like, it was mean. So I never wanted to be over there. Just wanted to be at home. So I remember that. A lot of hurt when he left, but at the same time, it was like you start seeing a whole bunch of different stuff when we went over there, especially with the drinking. I didn't want to be there. Mom ended up stopping us from going after that. She let it be our choice. Which is why I don't drink now. Like, I drink socially, but because I know, like, coming from a father that's alcoholic with brothers, it's like, okay, at this point, I got to balance. Then just drink a couple of shots, that's all for me. Outside of that social, I won't drink because I'm scared of falling to the alcoholism. I don't want that. So I balance that part.
So like, even like with the, have you yourself, I know you say he apologized, but have you ever, or are you too uncomfortable still, even though a grown woman, to sit down and say, and sometimes somebody be like, but I don't want to stir up those feelings. It's not stirring up feelings. It's really getting it out so you can heal. That's what that is. Because at the beginning of the interview, you said, I just moved on. Like so many of us. Because look, from being molested, raped, all kind of stuff, you just, move on. Pumpkin dealt with the alcoholism. I dealt with that. But then come to find out, my dad, too. So I had it on like both sides. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I have seen so much, so little. And that is why I tell people they should not really, and I know it's hard sometimes, but you don't really know what anybody has been through.
Right.
You don't know why that person is that way. You don't know. And so you're looking at what they may have done to survive. You see what I'm saying? So like, I remember more than you, and that's good if you don't. You know what I'm saying? But as time go on, it may come, and if it don't worry about it. My therapist said some things are so suppressed, your brain will suppress it and put it so far back in order for you to remain sane. But then she said there will be times though when something will come up, like a smell, or maybe the smell of beer, since that's what he was, may trigger something, right? Then some people just don't know how to love either. Like, would you like if uncle spent more time with your boys?
Oh, that is good now. Great grandfather don't miss. If I tell him that there's something going on at school, oh, he's there.
Yeah, he's the greatest supporter ever.
He is. So he
He
does.
is.
They love him. So
Okay.
there's no. It's just
With the
when I was a kid.
grandkids. Okay.
Nothing now at all.
Right. I'm in the interview, but I'm here. All right. Okay. So, well, that is good. So, with relationships, what do you think it is that relationships, like, what's the longest relationship you've ever been in?
That would be with Kia and BJ's dad. That was 5 years.
Was it healthy?
No. A lot of arguing, a lot of verbal. He wasn't a drunk either, so I can say that. Just a lot of verbal, a lot of arguing. Nothing physical, just wasn't healthy though.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Where do you think your low self-esteem came from?
Lack of love. I always felt like I missed Dad's love after he left. So as I grew up, or growing up, I was wanting boyfriends. I wanted to get that love from somewhere because I didn't get it from the male. I had moms, but it was like, okay, now that's why I was choosing the wrong relationships. Marriage, that was a.
Oh, we can really get to that in a minute. That's gonna be loud. Cause I got a whole lot to say about that one. But anyway.
Just a lack of love from a man. Let me put it that way. So I was
looking for love in all the wrong places. Me too.
That's it.
Me too. I had a great bonus dad, but I was because of I didn't get it from my biological. I was looking for that in me. I dated older men though, so I was looking for it. And even in relationships, like you said, all I ever wanted to do was be loved. But I had to ask myself, as you get older, if I don't love me, it's really kind of hard for somebody else to. Mm-hmm. So you're looking for someone else to do something that you're not even doing for yourself, right? So, because like today, we know that nobody could make us happy. They can enhance our happiness. So I got to love me in order for that spirit or that energy. They'll know I love me and they'll treat me as such. But they, just like how we got discernment and women intuition, men keen in on when they know you lack certain things. They pick up on it. So they know when you got a daddy issue. Yep. They know all of that. So the stepdad. Okay, so again, we know about the book. So however it was, how did it miss you? How did he just treat her that way and then it missed you? I find that kind of hard to believe with me being in situations, as a young girl around creepy ass men like that or inappropriate things. How did it miss you? Like did he, because one thing she said in her book was she didn't think it was strange to just get see for school, right? Because I was my bonus dad, I was there though at 9, so he, like I said, that's all I, you know what I mean? Punk's dad left from, mama got with him when I was 2 months till I was 7 or 8. Yeah, 7. And then mama got married when I was 8 going on 9. So that is all I know on Ann Street with him. That has the prom, the boyfriend, the breakup, the boyfriend hurt, the growing up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't nothing for me to I love that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, but what y'all already have in y'all's own dad, not saying that you still can't have a love for your bonus dad, but how did it go? Like, how did it miss you?
I think because I was older. I wasn't really there. Because I think I was, 17-ish? I want to say I was 17. I was either always at my best friend's house, and then at 18, I was just sort of eager to move out. I hated rules. So I left. So I really wasn't around him, like in the house with him like that, because
he never took you to school or anything.
No, when he picked me up from night school, Mama was in the car.
Oh.
So it was never like
by
I
yourself.
left by myself with him. Yeah. So that's why probably skip me because I wasn't around that much.
Oh, got you. Because I said, I'm like, usually people like that are, when you read the book, did you believe your sister?
I believe her.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I don't see her having a reason to lie.
But some people you do know, even mothers, can be like, I don't believe that. I've had that. I've had a friend of mine told her mom that her husband had been molesting her. And when she took her to the doctor, and the doctor said she was still a virgin, her mother beat her so bad. But they can't measure if somebody is fingering you. That's what she was saying. He was fingering her and wanting her to do things with her mouth on him. So a doctor's not gonna be able to measure that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that it's like she didn't tell what it didn't work. She beat her. You just trying to mess up my relationship. There are a lot of things like that happen as well. I was angered, very angry at the book, and I remember us talking, me and they talking, and it'll make you even angry when somebody stay. Like after you know and you choose to stay, that is the most horrible feeling in the world. That's something you can't even imagine. Then to go through what she went through in her marriage, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, now you went through that. You're searching for love, and although they're showing you how they, and again, this all stems from not loving ourselves, cause so you get into another relationship, little relationship you were having. Why do you think they don't stay? You're a nice looking woman. You're educated, or they knew you were working jobs before all that. Nice looking kids. What do you think it is when you get a man? Do you think that because you want love so bad, do you think you smother, or do you think you just, I don't know, what do you think it is that they don't stay? Like what? Why isn't it a lasting? Like although that there people be there for whatever reason from back in the day, like 5 years, y'all had a child together, y'all was together, but like you said, probably cheating, going back and forth, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'd have been through that too, but like the next relationship, it's like what happens on why are you that it doesn't work? Do you choose men that are similar? You know how you can choose the same man but a different face?
That's what my issue is. I ain't they used to say that all the time. Shauna's husband that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be like, Nita, you bring the same men home. The same ones. You always bring the same type of man home, just a different face. So I always attract to the same.
Tell me, what kind of men are those?
I would say I'm big on looks, and I think that's my issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because just because you look good don't mean you good. Mm-hmm. So I got a lot of manipulators that I done had the experience, cheaters, liars, different looks, same thing.
They be nice looking men, but as far as they have in common, they're not loyal. And do they show you love at all?
When they want something. I would say when they want something. And then I start getting ignored, or if I call you ignore, you leave me on red, or stuff like that. So that was the same too.
Mm-hmm. And so do you ever say to yourself, I wonder what it is about me?
Yeah, that's why I took a break. I took a break. That's what made me start getting, that's what made me, like I started this last year. I haven't really been on dates. Like the people I do go out with, it's also just straight friends.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I haven't wanted to be bothered, if that makes sense.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with liking what you like. Like, I'm not settling. I don't, if you're not my type, now, I used to do that because they had money. And that's what I was about. I was making money. You gonna take care of me? That was my mindset. So it didn't matter, honey, they didn't all look like whatever, fat, big, whatever. But the life they gave me was amazing. And I had love for them, but I didn't love them. And I used to drink too. So that kind of stuff would keep me not so minded. So there are times when you could wake up in the morning and look something and be like, oh my God, let me give me a drink real quick because I know this ain't what it is, but it be like that. And then some guys have so many other characteristics too that They may not be the finest thing, but they have so many other great things. It's like you just love them. You know what I'm saying? Love who they are. So, but I done had what you call pretty boys. I've had nice looking guys, tall, big, whatever. I like strong men, strength. I like to feel safe around men. But I also, like you said, I had different faces, same nigga, same one. You know what I mean? Very wanted to control. Volatile. I went through all of that. So I don't know, and I'm not gonna dumb down. I'm 56. I'm not getting ready to date somebody that because he got this going and he has that going. That's nice, but if I'm not attracted, it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be really happy. So I don't think that is it is, but I wonder okay, like what, I don't know. Just how come it just doesn't work? It's like, what do you evaluate yourself? What am I doing? So you go through the line and you ask yourself, I wonder what I'm doing. You know what I mean? For it, and again, you like you said, okay, let's get to your mirrors. There were so many flags, and is it because cousin, both of my sisters are married, and I mean, we being real right here. Both of my sisters are married. Here I am, still not married. Most women, today a lot of women don't, but our generation, that's all you know as a kid, is get married, have kids, and live a life.
Yep.
Okay, so finally I meet somebody, he's quote unquote a pastor. Or was he a pastor when you met him, or he became a pastor as y'all dated?
Before I met him.
Okay, so he was already a pastor. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, now I'm marrying a man of God, this, that, and the other, but he just had a title.
I think it was more of he was in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think he was in it for the right reasons to be a pastor.
That's what I mean. He
So,
just did just for the title.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Definitely. I had red flags the first week. I just felt left out. Like, okay, my nieces is married, they got boyfriends, my sister's married, my brother married. Like, everybody around me got somebody, whether it's in a relationship or a marriage. And here I am. I'm getting older. I'm a mom. I'm working. Where's my man at? Well, God ain't blessed me yet.
Right.
So then I'd be okay. Oh, he a pastor. Maybe this might be it. No. I just accepted it for what it was because okay, now I got somebody. Now I'm getting married. Now I could not use this. Not saying really fit in, but now I fit in with everybody else. Everybody got somebody. I got somebody too. But really, I didn't have nobody. He didn't come to functions. He didn't come around the family. He didn't do anything. The only time he was nice to me is, you got some money? You gotta give me a couple bucks. Stuff like that. And I don't do drama. I hate it. I don't do the back and forth.
I know the baby mama stuff.
Yes, that was a consistent issue. So it was just, I want to be married. I just took the first thing that wanted marriage too. And that's where that came from.
But did you think, because this getting good, hold on. And then it'll be over. You can sit right here. Hey, Aunt.
What's up?
That's my cousin Kamika.
Hey.
I remember her.
Okay, so
She's in your play, right?
Anyway, with that being said, are you comfortable with the interview with him? Okay. So with him asking, had you ever had somebody, because usually didn't they have their own who you dated previously, or were previous men used to ask also?
No, they had their own. He had his own place. I can say he had his own place. But no job. It was more like hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to do the car wash. Oh, I'm a pastor. He did more of a hustle, but not clock in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So where the money was going was more probably towards what he wanted to do, but never in the right places. So now you asking me for money.
What made you give it to him?
Avoid conflict. Because if I didn't, it was an argument. Now there's a verbal situation going on, and I don't like conflict. I don't like drama. So if I give it to you, I got peace. I don't. Now I gotta go through you fussing me out, blocking my number, ignoring me. And then your baby mama texting me because she done found out. Now she's got something to say. I didn't feel like dealing with that. So if I give it to you, I don't have no issues.
But as intelligent as you are, knowing that he was, and you knew that he's using me, so I know if I give him, at least he'll be around. I mean, even down to the wedding, not doing anything that he said he was going to do. So that was all on you. I mean, even in the financial, put you in the, because you'd have bounced back clean, baby, blessed and highly favored. But all of that, money wise, because you were all right. You were doing great. You know what I mean? And then that's what I mean. Like we don't be loving ourselves so much that not only do we subject it, we subject our children. Now I don't have any, but even the children to be a part of our madness. Have you sat and talked with them and apologized for all of that you had allowed them? And all of it is the end of the day. Because when Tracy and I was crying, you know, Kanika, at the end of the day, that all we want is to love and be loved in return. That's it. But the key word is to love ourselves first. And so when I asked another person, that's not these recent interviews, but I asked a person, do you know how to love yourself? Like, what are the steps? And she said, I don't know. And so that's when I started sharing with her things that I have learned, like affirmations, setting boundaries for yourself. When you start, because you'll self-sabotage yourself. She said, I was being everything that I felt like was what everybody else was doing. I wasn't really just being my authentic self. That's one thing. See, they couldn't break me for one. Every time I got one, they tried to break me. They wanted to break my spirit. They wanted to break my strength. They couldn't do it. So they went physically to try to do it. You see what I'm saying? And that still didn't work. But still mentally, like just that, me watching it as a kid, now here I am going through it myself. So it's like, why don't I love myself, is what a therapist said. What is it about Tina Marie that Tina Marie, everybody loves Tina, but Tina don't love Tina. And I did not understand that I didn't. I love myself. She was like, oh, no, you don't. Because of all that I had shared. Do you feel like today, we can say all the right stuff, and I'm not saying you don't, but what I'm saying is, we can quote all the scriptures, we can say all these affirmations, we can make shit sound good on Facebook, social media, we can talk good. I learned how to talk. I know how to go to church and talk that talk. You know what I mean? I evangelize. I know all that talk. But I was even in church wounded and tore up from the floor up, Kanika. It had nothing to do with God. It was just I did not allow him to go into the surfaces of my soul, because guess what? As what he has given me is already in me. And I have to bring that out. I have to do the necessary step. Crying. I'm tired. I want better for me. I don't have to be anybody else but me. I don't have to be what I think they want me to be. I just need to be me. If there's any jealousy in me, any envy in me, any lack of me, I need to deal with me. See what I mean? Bring it out. Put, like they say, put it at the foot. If that's your Christianity, put it at the foot of the Lord. If yours is meditation, you're gonna have to do something. What are your steps? What do you do now? Because if you've been 30 plus years not loving Kanika, or like me, not loving Tina, you need to know that 5 years, 7 years of me loving Tina versus those other 40 something years of me not. You know that part is way longer and can come back, where that self-sabotaging will come, but you have to be so strong. So when I cut everything out, no rehab, no nothing, said I'm tired, I meant that. When I told my ex-husband, you got to go, I've been spent on everything I love. You got to go. When my baby brother went to jail, I thought, I don't know, I had never felt nothing like that in my life. And I've been raped, abused, forced into prostitution, seen my mama abused, grandmother abused, seen niggas killed, brains blew out, boyfriends died, boyfriends killed, but nothing felt like when Pumpkin got in that trouble. That was the first time that I felt helpless. Like, it wasn't nothing I could do when I was so used to being there for him. That's my baby brother. So when we were going through all that fighting shit, that was me that is comforting. Like, making sure he's straight, and at the same time fighting, trying to help my mom. Then seeing your dad, my dad, your dad, and mama would fight like people in the street. So I witnessed things that I carried for a long time. But nothing still hurt me like that. And I knew I was dying. I was dying on the inside. So then I relapsed. And then I started back drinking. I was getting high. While married, he didn't know. And he may have knew and just didn't want to know. But when Pumpkin went, it just got bad. And I knew that he had to go because I already was just in it. I was just in the marriage. But see, that's what I mean. You don't love yourself. Because why are you in it? Because what? Because this is my second marriage. I wanted to work, yada, yada, yada. No, bye. You got to go. You have to go. I should have never married you to begin with. It was still a lesson and a blessing in it. A lesson, but I wasn't supposed to marry him. You see what I'm saying? I was not supposed to marry him. And I did it anyway. So that's why I don't never blame God about none of that. Because you had red flags, like you said. I saw red flag. He saw red flag. He saw that I was Looney Tunes too. And still wanted. So it was trauma bonding. But it was good sex. It was fun. And I felt protected. And we probably should have just been the best of friends versus that. You know what I mean?
That's all I feel.
So, what do you do now besides saying, I don't date? What are you doing to work on you though? Like for real, like what works are you doing? Because I know we had talked about therapy. I don't know if it stayed because some people it is expensive. But what other things are you doing? Because YouTube have awesome things. I'm talking about awesome things that you can listen to and learn of yourself. What tools are you doing so that you can love yourself, so that you can teach your daughter now? Because one thing for sure, although you done said I'm sorry, they still experienced it, and that is something that they'll take on too. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So your daughter, being a daughter, it's learned behavior. I saw my mama, I saw my grandmama. You saw your mama. Yeah, you wasn't getting beat up, but you know what? She stayed a long time with Uncle Red before he left. She didn't even leave. He left. When she should have been gone a long time ago. You know? So, somewhere along the line, she didn't love herself either, like my mama or grandmother. So, it's a generational thing. You know what I'm trying to say? What are you doing now?
So, I did go through counseling. So, I did do that.
Okay.
If I have any, like, issues or something bothering me, I reach out to my pastor. Mm-hmm. So I do that. I have books that is, I won't say motivational, but it's teaching me things that I need. So I highlight it. If I think back on something, I just go back to what I highlighted. So I have those. Like you said, the videos. I watch motivation, like Sarah Jakes. I listen to stuff that she say. Joyce Meyer. So I do go through things that's helping me, that encourages me. So I do that as well. So therapy, if I have to, I'll jump back in there and do it again.
That's right.
So I completed my session, so that's done. But like I said, I'll go back if I need to. But I just do necessary steps with books, and my pastor, I confide in him. So even with him, I talk to him, or he'll give me scriptures that I stand on. Now, before I even start my day, I read in the morning, I pray in the morning before I even start my day.
Awesome.
So that's something I do now.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing to help myself.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, like they done got baptized, they got stuff that I set out for them to read. Mm-hmm. So I don't send them scriptures to read every day. So they do that too. Jordan is in counseling. BJ is on a wait list. Okay. Because I guess they got a wait list at Children's right now. Mm-hmm. But he's about to start therapy. Jordan already started.
That's good.
Kia, because she's 19, they don't let me make appointments. All I can do is guide her and tell her.
Mm-hmm. Is she going to college?
Not right now.
Mm-hmm. Does she want to go?
She do.
Does she work?
She works at a daycare.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So she, Kia's what's those people that don't like being around people? Extrovert.
Antisocial.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of say to herself, she don't take no mess.
Okay. So
I will say that about her. So we got the same attitude, but she a lot more. I'm not dealing with it. Mm-hmm. I'm there now. I'll block you. No questions asked. I ain't even gonna tell you block. Mm-hmm. So I'm one red flag, block. I'm not taking no more red flags. So she went through counseling, but she stopped.
Okay.
But she knows she can go back.
But she's on her own journey now. I mean, of course she's still there, but she has her own. She's grown now. So she's on her, walking her own journey and learning through her own experiences. But definitely have seen, because we don't miss a beat as kids. We just don't. And we absorb them, But again, you're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm proud of you, cousin. Just remember this, that you deserve everything that you're praying for, and you can get it, and it's up to you to manifest it yourself. And just keep going. Show yourself some grace. Like you said, speak out. And whether it be a pastor or whatever it means, whoever you may feel that has been through something that can give you something that you can stand on. But definitely do what you've been doing. If church is your foundation, by all means, if that's making you feel better and do better, continue to do that. And don't look, because what's for you is for you, and it'll come. Because you're beautiful, and a lot of times that's intimidating too to certain men. But those kind of men that if you're intimidated by a woman that have a job and a degree, then that's a red flag. You understand what I mean? Because I don't have no. I need to show people like that more grace, but you got to realize I come from the streets. So when I see that, the first thing, if you a weak ass, get away from me. Ain't nothing I can do with you, cause it's not gonna work with us. And I know how to be humble. I want to serve my husband. You know what I mean? That's what I love to do. I know how to be a woman, but I don't have time for you to be jealous of me because I got this, that, and the thing going on. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't want that. Forgive yourself. It's for you. Walk anything that may come up. Don't suppress it back down. Write it out, and that's what I learned when I first got into therapy. Write it out, whether it be daddy or not. And Uncle Red, my uncle has been the best uncle to me. So like I said, I've seen him fighting stuff, but I mean, he's been a uncle. He is what an uncle is supposed to be, and he's been that to me, and still is to this day at 56. He still is that to me. So him and Uncle Dallas and Uncle Nate was too. I'm very grateful for my uncles. But if there's anything that you may remember, write it out. You could either mail it to him or don't. You can or burn it or throw it in the trash. Thing is, what I'm saying is, any ex, anybody that hurt you, if I said something, write it out, get it out of you, and go forward. We definitely gotta, you and I gotta, cause I have truly, a vision came with us sitting here. Cousin, I really think that a lot of people need to know that because you're kinfolk and you have, especially us, first cousins, siblings, that a lot of our parents went through a lot, and we are the product of that. And I think a lot of people would be blessed to hear, like, it's crazy how it's similar, but yet it's different. You know what I mean?
I do.
Right? And people need to hear about see, that bullying has a lot to do with you still to this day saying certain stuff. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sure can't nobody just do it. But it is. Because it has. But we'll talk about that. But thank y'all so much for joining. I done forgot I was on here. Because I had a good conversation with my first cousin. Thank you, Kanika. Tell one thing. So, about the last play, the play that you've been in, tell me, what do you enjoy more, and where do you want to see your character go? Like, what would you like it to do? Because I know you're busy, you're not able to be in it as much as others because, as she told us, she's in a lot of things. But is it something you want to continue? Where would you like to see us going? Because, my goal is to get us everywhere, all over, traveling and everything.
Okay, the next time I'm here.
Yeah.
Sure. I still want to be in. I'm definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's giving me step out. How can I put it? Like, I'm always on the go. I'm always got to be this business person, but it gives me something to be able to laugh and do something for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I have to. Oh, well, you got to say this word. You got to say that. I can be myself.
Okay.
So that's what I really enjoy. I can step out that business person for a second and just enjoy me for that moment and doing something I like.
And you a good actress, like naturally.
Thank
A
you.
really good. I mean, your acting skills is believable. Like, it don't look like a skit. Now, we went viral. If y'all want to go on TikTok, where I was messing with her man. We were cousins in this particular skit, but I think we did like 889. So it was a lot. 889K. That's on TikTok when I used to get astronomical numbers on there until they changed the algorithm. But one thing about us, we gonna keep doing what we do. She started where it was just skits. Now we're doing plays, and then the movie is in March. So I'm excited. I already got stuff lined up. The next play, the movie, everything is lined up. And all I can tell y'all is thank y'all so much for watching YouTube. Please, we are Tina Two Skits on all platforms. Kanika, what is your thing on TikTok?
Kanika Akila.
Kanika Akila, go on there, check her out. She does a lot of she got that when they talking like the other people. She was supposed to show me, ain't told me yet. So I appreciate it. But keep a lookout for us all. We are all family. We love you, and this is my little cousin who I love so much. Thank you for coming. This was and this is therapeutic. So check out all the interviews. They powerful, and as you seen, this one was definitely it's going to reach somebody. So we just thank you. Bless y'all. Have a blessed day on purpose. Yeah, that was good, cousin. Thank you.